that, brother? Why is he telling me to go this way? Anyway, what's popping with y'all, man? I was driving and I was thinking, I got to thinking, I'm like, man, I wonder if somebody else is out there wondering about becoming an auto body technician or becoming an auto tradesman, which means like anything auto paint, auto body, you know what I mean, detailing, all that stuff. I was wondering if, I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that are wondering like how it is. Is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Is the money okay? How do you get paid? I mean, there's so many questions that I had that I barely had any answers because there was nobody that actually did what I did, because the auto body industry changed drastically, like way different, which like every trade, there's not a lot of kids or younger people wanting to get into the trades, the blue collar work. I mean, it is what it is, you know what I mean? We're lazy, dog. Most of us are lazy. I'm not. You might not be. If you're watching this video, you're probably thinking about getting into the trades, or you know, if it's worth getting into auto body. So all I could do is kind of just tell you what I did, how it worked out for me, what I think about it, and is it worth it? I personally, I think it was worth it. My journey into it was, I've always been around cars though. Ever since I was little, always loved cars, always been around cars. My dad had lowriders back in the day, you know what I mean? He was like one of the first people in Las Vegas to have a mini truck with the bed, you know, the bed that he was one of the first ones out here to have it. He had a Cutlass, you know, all the whole nine. My mom had Cadillacs growing up. My uncles had cars. See my uncle build the engine inside of the apartment where we lived. Crazy, in the kitchen, literally built it. Seen him and my uncles and my dad put it in his truck, and then literally seen him like drive it, you know what I mean? But anyway, so I always been into cars. I always wanted to get into like making money with cars or actually like working on cars. But I also love music, so music took the front seat while my passion for cars took the back seat, you know what I mean? I DJ'd for 10 years professionally, whatever you want to call it. I started in like 2000. I started DJing in 2010, but took it serious in 2012 all the way until like 2022. And then I decided, man, I don't, kind of over it. Tired of the nightlife. I mean, that's a whole other story. We can get into that. I could do another video about DJing, and I can go on and on and on about the industry, and specifically in Vegas, you know what I mean? But for the video, the purpose of this video is to talk about auto body and becoming an auto body technician, and is it worth it? Sorry, man, if the video sounds terrible. I'm driving. But yeah, I think it's worth it. My journey started at Caliber Collision, which is like one of the biggest collision companies in America. Like, I think they have like over 3,600 stores nationwide. Super well known. It was between them, Caliber Collision, and Gerber, which is also another big company. But eventually I feel like there's only going to be like 3 left or 2, and they're all going to be ran by the same person, same company, and that's pretty much it. But anyway, I was on Indeed. I was like, man, I really want to get into this, but there's no information. I mean, back in the day, you would go pull up to a body shop and just be like, hey, man, I want to work for you guys. Can you teach me the trade? They'll be like, yeah, we'll pay you $5 an hour. And all you need to do is sweep, clean, do whatever we tell you to do. And then maybe after a year of doing that, then you can learn the trade. Well, me, man, that's not what I'm on. You know what I mean? I just, that's not what I wanted to do. So I got on Indeed, and I was looking, and I seen this ad, and it was saying that, well, it was Caliber Collision, and it was, the ad was like, we'll pay you to learn this trade. It was like super awesome. You know what I'm saying? They had all these benefits. yeah, so I was like, oh, I mean, that sounds pretty cool. So I ended up applying, and long story short, I almost didn't get hired there. I had to bug the lady. I ran her down. Like, I literally called her every day because she kept putting it off. Literally for a week, I called her every day. I texted her every night. And then on the last day, she was like, just come in, I'll have you meet the manager. So I got up, ran in, ended up meeting the manager. He was cool at first, you know what I mean? They all are. And then we'll get into that later. But I got hired. He hired me as a auto body technician apprentice, which they pay you to learn how to become an auto body technician, and they pay for your classes, which is iCar. Like it's almost like ASE for mechanics, or OSHA. I mean, it's like they teach you all the things. I learned how to weld. I learned how to do body work. I learned how to paint from the painter there, which was super dope. Shout out to Frankie if you're watching this. I learned how to, disassemble cars the right way, reassemble them the right way, organize all my parts, because that's super important. I learned how to, just work in the auto body trade, in the auto body industry or auto industry. It was a dope experience. It had its ups and downs. Overall, I think it was worth it because they paid you. I got paid $15 an hour, which isn't that much. But if you think like me, why wouldn't you have somebody pay you to teach you how to do something that you can take and then make it your own? You know what I mean? And make way more money than $15 an hour. You gotta think bigger, not smaller. All in all, I think it was worth it, man. You gotta think bigger, not small. And I knew that I would give them what they needed, which was labor. At the end of the day, they needed labor. They needed a body in there to help with production. So, yeah, at the end of the day, oh God, sorry, man. You deal with all kind of crazy drivers, people that don't know how to drive. At the end of the day, yeah, man, they needed labor, and I needed the knowledge and the skill and the experience, because I'm the middle child. I'm not super young and I'm not super old. I am a millennial, but I'm not Generation Z. You know what I mean? So I like to learn hands-on and touch things and actually experience it and feel it for myself, and not just get on YouTube, you know what I mean? And think that what everybody says is true. I kind of like to get a lot of ideas, thoughts, and opinions from people, and then get my own with the experience. So yeah, I went, and yeah, it was a great experience all in all, because I learned what I needed to learn. There is pros and cons, of course, which we will get into that. But yeah, I figured this video would help somebody who was looking. So I'll name all the cons first. So a lot of the cons are the pay is low. Obviously, you don't get paid what you need to get paid to survive, you know what I mean, in this day and age. You don't get paid, so that is a sacrifice. If you need to get money, you need more money, you're gonna have to work 2 jobs like I did, you know what I mean? I didn't just work there, I did other things. I had other hustles. Like I said, I was a DJ. I do other things, you know what I mean? I'm a handyman, little stuff like that. I do odd jobs, you know, whatever it was to get it. I'm driving, whatever it is, because that money is not enough to, especially with me. I have 3 kids, a wife, 2 dogs, house, cars, businesses, you know what I mean, aspirations, dreams. So that it wasn't enough. So with that being said, that's one of the cons. If you can deal with that, then hey man, good luck to you, you know what I mean? Another con is the industry. If you're a person of color, as myself, the industry is very predominantly Caucasian or white, with very little brown or black or yellow, you know, Asian. Shout out my Asians. Very little representation of us, which that doesn't bother me. I'm used to that. I'm always, usually the rooms that I'm in or the places I'm at as I started this journey, I've always been one of the few, you know, so that didn't bother me. It is a shock or to some people, and if you can't deal with little, you know, comments, little slick racist comments, or just assumptions of you being judged, prejudices, stuff like that, then maybe this isn't for you. You know what I mean? But I like I said, I'm totally fine with it, man. Like, it doesn't bother me. I know what I'm here for. I know my purpose God gave me, and that's what I was that's what I was told to do. So I'm here. So what can I do to make this place better, and you guys help me? You know what I mean? That's how I've always thought. So yeah, that's con number 2. You might be the only black, brown, and yellow person in the building. You know, just being completely honest. Like, the whole management team was white. My mentor was an older white man in his late 50s. Very vocal about his stance politically, and just very vocal on just all kind of the issues that you hear of that's on the news and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, he was very, very vocal, said a lot of things, and you know, I pushed through it though, man. Shout out to him. He still hasn't checked on me since I graduated. He was supposed to. He got his little money for teaching me whatever he got, and we parted ways. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to him. But yeah, there was a lot of things that were said while I was there by my mentor and co-workers, management, that I probably could have got a civil case for, you know what I mean, and did the whole thing like that. But like I said, man, I have tough skin, man. I'm not, as I've gotten older, man, I just learned people just say things, and you can't change people. Just realize what your purpose is and keep going for what you got going. You know what I mean? Don't worry about everybody else. But I know there was probably some things that were said and done that would have just completely broke you down, like broke whoever that wouldn't be able to take it down. And I seen it happen like several times, you know, like people that were on my team, because where I worked at the apprenticeship, there was not just me, it was like a team of 5, which that's probably going to be a third con. But yeah, there was a team of 5, and I seen it. I was the only one that made it, man. There was one other guy that started before me. Shout out to Jason if you're watching this. HB Details, follow him, man. He does good work on cars, man. I'll try to put a link right here. Yeah, me and him are the only ones. He started before me, so technically he's not in my class. The people I started with in my class I'm the only one that graduated and finished the program because of the things that went on, or whatever you want to call it. So if you got tough skin, man, hey, join the auto industry. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, man. Third con is if you want to do the apprenticeship like I did, they might throw you on a team, man, and with you being on a team, you don't learn as much as quickly as you should. It took me about 1.5 years to graduate, and that's because he had 5 people. My mentor, the guy that taught me, you know what I mean, that taught the team. He had 5 people to look after, like to watch, to guide, and you can't do it, man. You can't. It's impossible to teach 5 people how to do it. You know what I mean, at once, unless it was set up like how they said it was supposed to be set up, which is con number 4. They said that the program, the way that they worded it and it was sold, is that it's a class and they pay you to learn, but that's not fully true. That's not fully true, man. It is a job. And that was the part that sucked. Hold on, man. It's lunchtime. Grab something to eat. I'll talk to y'all. Shout out to the wife. I think she made like a chicken Caesar wrap on that bus. Anyway, what was I saying? Con number 4, yeah. Don't go in there assuming that it's a class, because that's what I thought. Well, that's how they sold it. And then I got there and started working, and a month in I realized, bro, this is just a job. Like, This is just a regular job, and whatever you put in is what you get out. It's not how, you know what I mean, how, oh, you show up, they teach you like school. Nah, bro. If you ain't putting in the work and asking all the questions and trying to figure out why you do that and why you do that, or how'd you do this, not gonna work, my boy or my girl. Not gonna work, man. So yeah, that's con number 4. Don't think it's a class, it's a job. And you need to show up, and you need to ask questions, and you need to do stuff, and take full advantage of the equipment around you and the people that are around you. Ask questions, pick at their brain, you know what I mean? So yeah, if you can do that, then you'll succeed. So I think after you get through all that, you know what I mean, after you get through your class, I think those are the main cons, like during the apprenticeship. Dang, my bad. One of the cons after the apprenticeship, which I already found out because I'm one of those people that's gonna ask questions. I was asking so many questions. They probably hated me asking questions, which is why my mentor hated me, because I mean, it's obvious. He didn't hate me, but I know he was like, bro, who is this young black kid like that's so concerned about taxes and how you write your taxes off and how do you get this money and pay structure and stuff like that. So anyway, that's con number 5. After you graduate, pay structure. Pay structure in the auto body, at least auto collision. The collision industry is terrible. Like, it's either super good or super bad. When I was working there on my own for the 4 months that I did do on my own, or 3 months, whatever it was, bro, you get paid. So I don't know, you probably don't. So for the people who don't know, you get paid what they call like a flag rate. So say for example, you get a car, right, and the front bumper, fender, hood, and part of the door needs to be replaced or fixed. The estimator, which is the guy that comes out or the female that comes out and writes on the paper what's wrong, you know, blah, 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 like, you need to replace all this. They're going to take that estimate, is what they call it, and they're going to take it to, or email it to whatever, the adjuster, which works for the insurance company. Once the insurance company gets it, they're going to either approve the amount of time that it takes that you want. So once the estimator comes out, he's gonna ask you, all right, man, how much to fix this? How much time you think it'll take to fix this? Do we need to replace this? Should we do that? You're the professional, so you should know, right? You should know. And you're gonna tell him, all right, man, I need 30 hours, 35 hours, 20 hours, which that sounds crazy just for a fender, hood, and door. Like, you're not gonna get that, my boy. Let's just say, for the sake of the video, all right, I need 16 hours for this job. He's gonna be like, all right, bet. He's gonna either shoot you down right there, because he's thinking, because he gets paid too by the insurance company. He gets whatever your gap is that you fixed. Like, say if you fix it faster than 15 hours and he put 15 hours on there, he gets a chunk of that too. Like, he's gonna get money off of that. He gets commission as well. So they're either gonna shoot. Shout out to the estimators that didn't shoot me down, that weren't like, oh nah, I mean, you're probably not gonna be able to get that. They're just like, all right, man, I'll try it. We'll see what the insurance company says. Shout out to them, and they know who they are. So yeah, if he doesn't shoot you down, he's gonna be like, all right, for sure, I'll take this. He said 15 hours. He's gonna take it to the insurance company. They're gonna be like, yes, or they're gonna be like, hell nah, and he needs to do it in 10 hours. And at that point, if you can't prove why you need the 15, the insurance company is going to be like, well, do it in 10 hours. And you're going to have to do it in 10 hours. Even though it takes you 15, 16 hours to do it, you're still going to have to, that's what you're getting paid, 10 hours. So you get paid a flag rate, which I was getting 18 per hour. So if the job was a 15-hour job, I wanted to do it faster. I wanted to do it within at least, the way my mentor taught me, it was you want to do it in half. Like, you want to do it If it says 15 on that paper, you need to get it done in 7. And that's how you make your money in that type of environment. That's how you make your money. You shoot high on the estimate, and you work your ass off to try and get the hours under, because that's just how you get paid. That's how you get paid, man. That's how you're gonna get money. So the guys that are good at that, they make good money. Like, there's good money in the collision industry for sure. I made good money. When I was on my own, I averaged $1,300 a week, like, and I only worked 39 hours, you know, like, so there's money to be made, you know what I mean? But I didn't like that because there's so much politics that goes with this. So say if the estimator doesn't like you, like, you can cut your hours. He could be like, oh, I'm not gonna get, or he could be like, I'm not gonna give him a car. Like, they could literally just be like, I'm not giving him a car. And that's how it is. If the manager doesn't like you, he could tell them, hey, don't give him any more cars. Like, there's so many variables. Like, it's crazy. Like, the paint guy, because as a body tech, all you do is get the work ready for paint. Then it needs to go to the paint department. You know what I'm saying? They could be like, remember the last time, bro, he didn't take off that hinge, or he didn't do that. Hold his car for another 2 days. And in that 2 days, if you don't get that car finished, I mean, you're not gonna get no money on your check. So, like, there's a lot of variables, which I didn't like. I'm the type where it's like, well, if you're gonna do me like that, I might as well sink or swim on my own. You know what I'm saying? And my mentor told me, shout out to my mentor, man. We had our disagreements, but he told me a lot and gave me a lot of game. He's like, bro, it's sink or swim. Like, once you out there on your own, like, it's sink or swim, which is cool. But why would I sink or swim for a company when I could just sink or swim for myself? That's how I felt. I'm like, oh man, I might as well just do this on my own. Like, that's like running a business, you know what I mean? Anyways, like I was saying, man, yeah, if con number 5 is the pay structure. Any one person could mess up your whole week, like, literally. The detailers can, the people who clean the car after it's done, like, they could accidentally scratch the paint or scratch it, and then now the car has to get repainted, and then now you gotta wait because that car's not going on your check. It's a very like hustle and bustle type environment, which is cool if you're single with no kids, like, you don't like to be home. Perfect. You can make thousands of dollars. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can really make thousands of dollars. But if you want to be home at a good time, you know what I mean? You have kids, wife, stuff like that, other things going on, it's not for you. Unless you want to do it on your own. Then you can put in the same amount of work for yourself. You know what I mean? So that's why I decided to leave out there. This ain't it, man. I love doing the work. I love the Bondo work. I love, doing that type of stuff. But yeah, it didn't sit right with me that one man or one person could literally mess your whole paycheck up. I said, man, yes, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm cool. Another con, number 6, is it's expensive, man. You got to get the tools. Like, good thing I listened to my mentor, and my mentor was telling me from day one, like, hey, man, if you're going to take this serious, like, you need to go pick up some tools. Like, slowly build your tools up, because once you graduate, you're on your own, man. It's sink or swim. Like, nobody's gonna just lend you tools that cost $200, $300. You know what I mean? Just for an example, like, my DA, which is a orbital sander that we use almost every day. I use that thing. That alone was $280 just for the machine. Then you got to get the fitting. That's another. I mean, you might be able to get one for $1 or free at your shop, but that stuff adds up over time. Like, it really does. Ask my wife. You know what I mean? She's like, dude, is this even worth it? Because you're not getting paid a lot, and then you're buying stuff. Like, I was at Harbor Freight every week, yard sales. You know what I mean? Whenever I could, buying stuff from my coworkers and stuff there. That stuff adds up. It's like super expensive to get into. So if you do decide to go into the apprenticeship or learn the trade, start buying tools, like, right away. You know what I mean? Slowly though. Don't be one of those guys that go on the tool truck, and we all know that guy or that girl went on the tool truck, got into $20,000 debt, and then next week, a couple months from now, they quit and they can't pay their debt off because they wanted to get the coolest, you know what I mean, the coolest, newest, trendiest tool. Like, bro, nah. I had another guy, he was like a mentor to me. Shout out to Austin. But he wasn't, but he worked there. We had our differences, but he was super cool. Like, he would just tell me, like, give me a little game, little secrets to the trade. Like, bro, don't go buy that. Like, buy this. You know what I mean? Or do that. Don't do this. That'll save you an hour of your, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, but the pros of the trade, or the apprenticeship and the trade, you learn a lot. You learn quite a lot. Like, you learn how these cars work, why they're built like that. You learn like so much. You just learn so much about cars, and like you learn a lot. My appreciation for cars grew like crazy. You know what I mean? Just knowing how they work and all that type of stuff. My confidence grew a lot. Like, outside of just the work, my confidence as a person, a human being on earth grew. You know what I mean? Like, tearing stuff all the way down and then putting it back together is like a hell of a feeling, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, you know. So, and you learn to trade, you know what I mean? And I remember there was at my graduation, the general manager, no, he was the regional manager. I'm gonna leave his name out, but I witnessed 3 graduations, you know what I'm saying, including mine there, while I was there. And at every graduation, the guy was like, he would say, you guys learned you learned the skill. He was like, you learned the skill and you'll forever be able to feed your family with this skill. And all we ask is for you to stay here with the skill. And that stuck with me because I'm like, it's pretty true to a certain extent. Like, you forever will be able to, that's a skill like that no one knows. Like, everybody just doesn't know how to tear a car down, paint it, get it straight, or whatever, and then put it back together. Like, that is a real skill for sure. So yeah, that always stuck with me. I thought that was pretty cool. Another pro is you meet a lot of people. Like, I met a ton of people, man. A ton of people that helped me through the way, like, that helped me through this journey. Like, I met so many people, and it was cool, like, to just learn from them and then share stories and, you know, that type of stuff. So, which is so funny. I don't know why it took me so long to do YouTube. I feel like, bro, that's all I do is talk, like, and tell stories and share stories and my opinions and, like, what I think and different cultures, you know what I'm saying? I love that stuff. So, yeah, but I learned so much. I met so many people, and I made good money, man. I made good money. I'm not gonna lie. I made good money those 4 months I was on my own, or 3 months, whatever it was. I was on my own. I made good money, and I averaged like $1,200 a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, which you can make money, but just keep in mind when it's slow, it is slow. I mean, like, if you're not working on a car, you're not gonna get paid. Like, there's been times where I made like $100 because that's all I had. You know what I mean? Which was terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you got a family and all kind of stuff going on. Like, so I was like, man, it just felt like I was on my own. Like, literally, like, with my own business. So I was like, bro, like, why won't I just do it on my own? Like, so that's exactly why I'm here driving this truck. You know. Built a garage at the house, you know what I mean? Started working, doing YouTube and stuff like that, because I'm like, man, I'm about to just do it on my own. I've never been afraid to shoot my shot, man. Shoot your shot, bro. That's all I can ever hope my kids learn from me, is to love hard and shoot that shot, man. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. That is a fact. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. And that's what I've always been doing, bro. If you don't speak up, you're not gonna get it, you know what I mean? Closed mouth don't get fed, all that type of stuff. That's super true, man. Like, so yeah, man, I'm not afraid to shoot my shot, so I'm shooting my shot. You know what I mean? About to be this YouTuber, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, whatever they want to call it, you know what I mean? But I'm just here sharing my story, man, like documenting, you know, my builds and stuff like that. Yeah. I think that was it as far as like the pros and cons, man. Like, all in all, like I said though, my experience was great, man. I wouldn't change it. Like, just going through with something, you know me, then you know, like, I tend to, I'm here, I'm there, you know what I mean? The only thing I ever fully stuck with to this day is music and my family, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. Everything else I kind of just here or there. So that was cool to actually, like, I made a commitment to myself to go to this you know, trade, learn this trade, apprenticeship, and like follow it all the way through. Like, there was so many times where I was like, man, forget this, bro. Like, I'm out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, plenty of times I could remember, like, talking to my wife, like, man, I don't know, bro. Like, it's hard to deal with all the, you know, all the stuff that you deal with there. You know what I mean? And it just felt like it was like this. They were holding something, you know, like over your head, like, and it felt like so long, because it's like, I feel like I could have learned it way faster because my mentor also was like super slow, you know what I mean? And that's that could be a con too. Like, you just luck of the draw, man. Whoever you get, you know what I mean? Like, good thing I got a well-rounded, he was super well-rounded, man. Shout out to Kurt. I'm gonna shout Kurt out, man. Whatever. Super real well-rounded guy. I mean, the dude taught me so much, man. The dude did everything. He did glass. My man did glass. He did PDR, which is paintless dent removal. I learned some of that. I learned some of the glass, like, because I was actually asking questions, you know what I'm saying? Asking questions. He did paint, glass. My man was super good at Bondo work. Like, body work was top notch. Metal work, all that, top notch, you know what I'm saying? Welding. He was alright at welding. He'll tell you that he taught me how to weld, and I'll tell you YouTube taught me how to weld, and me actually welding. So, yeah, I mean, he told me the basics, which is good to have that hands-on experience. But yeah, like, he just knew he was the guy that did the clear bras on cars. Like, he did the blackout tape, everything. Like, the dude, they would come to him, like, for everything. And keep in mind, they give him hours. Like, if he was doing the tape or he took out the glass, he got paid for that. Like, he got a couple hours, you know what I'm saying, to put on blackout tape, or hour here, hour there. That stuff adds up. Like, my man was getting bread. Shout out to Kurt, man. He was a hustler too. Like, that's why I gravitated towards him. I'm like, oh yeah, he's a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna get it. He's gonna get it for sure. Like, he's not gonna play. He's out here. He's here for money. He ain't here for friends. None of that. Which I respected that. You know what I mean? You can only respect that if you are a hustler yourself, and you know all you can do is respect that, bro. Like, we don't gotta be best buddies, which we weren't. You know what I mean? I'm here for something, you here for something. Let's get this. Shake hands, we're done, we're out. I'll at you on Monday, you know what I'm saying? Come Friday, I'll holler at you on Monday, you know what I mean? Super cool. Like, so yeah, man, if you have any questions or you want to say anything, I mean, drop a comment, like, subscribe, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. Let me know what y'all think, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I'll holler at you guys on the next one, man. Hopefully it was super helpful for somebody out there, man. I'm just here trying to help, bro, because